Okay, so I'll just go through my TMCC stuff real quick. So I want to start off with the TMC checks that I kind of did throughout the semester. Just went through here and I had kind of a log sheet where I kept information and marked off who was and who wasn't and that kind of sort of deal. Went ahead and opened up the TMC sheet as well. And I wrote off on the side corner when it heard anything, where people's hours were going to, and how many. It takes a bit to load because it's Firefox. You can see where I marked up on the side. So making sure everyone's meeting their 15, messaging them if they're not. Here's Kayla's. You can see just the markups there. Here's like an example of a message from Slack I sent to Jorge where it's like, hey, you gotta get all your hours. Here's where I kind of kept track of checking assets. It's hard to show you my actual windows. It doesn't want to record for some reason, but I spent a lot of time throwing things into the particle playground level. And from there I was kind of able to size things up and make sure that assets were working together. It got to be a bit cluttered and a bit of a mess. You can see I kind of built demo scenes, and these were really handy for presentation of partway success, or partway progress, that is. And I'll come back in at some point and clean this up so it's not so all over. Then I came in here and I planned with Snow and Parker about their assets. A lot of this was just me going, for Parker it was me going through lists and just seeing kind of what he recommended and figuring out what would work, what wouldn't work. Most of it I just took. And I went ahead and threw that up in the assignment sheet, and went ahead and contacted people about, especially those needing hours. It's about going and grabbing tasks and following the color key. Purple means that it's up for grabs. And Snow I had a kind of an issue with because some of his lists came in pretty late and a lot of the assets on them, by the time he got me lists or large lists or added to the lists, I had a lot of those assets already planned. Since I kind of just went and researched different kinds of levels. And so I just kind of went through and Googled up props and figured out what would look good, what wouldn't. Sometimes it's just easy to Google game assets and see what people do. Get some ideas and throw that up in the assignment sheet. Then I kind of helped out with, we had a meeting about the HUD and what we were going to do with that, so I helped do some mock-ups for that. The design channel was kind of where I was posting the mock-ups. It's probably long buried now. You can see here my little Photoshop file where I kind of mess with things. Move them around as I got feedback. Everything's kind of modular. And it's a simple representation, but it'll work pretty well. I did a couple different variations of that according to the feedback that was given. No, Jacob ended up using this to design out one of his ideas for the HUD too, so. And then here I cleaned up the flowers. They weren't on a plane and they weren't set up, so I went ahead and set them up proper. So I went ahead and made them emissive, set up their opacities, and there was an issue coming in with these guys where the edges of them were white, and that was an issue. I had to make sure they were two-sided. But the issue is that if the background's white, it's gonna bleed in white, and I haven't found a way to completely get rid of bleed. So what I did is I took these over into Photoshop so that when it did bleed in, instead of bleeding in white, it would bleed in a more natural green, and I just kind of selected that, got to here, and it looks much better when it's rendered out in global. And then I kind of made two planes, threw them in from Maya, and intersected them, and made some pretty flowers. It looked a little different at different angles. Made sure the settings were all good. And I helped with the studio logo. I thought that was a task that came from Dan and Abriel, but I think Ward, in hindsight, may have just picked it up. So we do have a logo now. And that's kind of the final one I came up with that they liked. Here's so this was an issue of Justin's assets weren't coming in proper, and that was just checking a checkbox. I had to troubleshoot it to figure that out, but you just have to use the TOAs or it's going to import really, really tiny. I had to kind of fix it for all these little guys. Then I did the skyboxes, and that was actually super easy. Your tutorial was really helpful that you found. I just made a dome, and I decided to go with hand painting because it was easier for me than trying to find perfect pictures. So I went ahead and hand painted those in Photoshop. And these are like the base paintings. I got the backyard, the bedroom, and the basement. And then I also have where I actually applied them to UV map, and I did some editing on them, smoothing them out, making them look a little better, toning them better. And then I applied that to this static mesh of the sky dome, and I set the sky dome up so it's emissive and all that good stuff. And I got that here. You can see the settings here for the emissive. It looks pretty well. And those are material instances, the backyard and the basement. So they're a little less roomy. I set up the skybox in the level. You can see here I had some trouble because Snow had changed the lighting from the default. And then set that up here. This one's sitting inside the dome because Parker pretty much just left the default in, so I was able to just kind of fit it right nice inside. And it gives it that nice background glow, and I don't get the same odd red glow that I do from Snow's level. That's very nice. And there were some issues when they did the planar cleanups. They didn't really do it too well, and it affected the UVs. You can see on the ear there, it's just on the wrong side of the head. The butt's a little off. Things were just kind of thrown off by that. So what I ended up doing is ended up bringing in the old ones and just triangulating them, which is pretty much the easiest way to take care of non-planars. And it doesn't change the UVs really, so it's good. can't really see it, but I'm trying to select the triangulation thing. Maya doesn't like to record well either. And then here I had the tombstone decal that I set up because Kayla wanted me to go in and test to see if it'd be more efficient to use new textures or decals. But there were some issues when I was testing this. You can see it's a little annoying to set up. It doesn't really work well on certain headstones. It works fine on really flat ones, but if you take it over to the different shaped ones, it's gonna look odd. And there's one headstone in there you probably see soon where it's just, yeah, it doesn't even show up on the face. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I still haven't exactly figured it out. It apparently has to do with light settings in Unreal, but it seemed like it was just, so I was able to report back after testing like this that it was better just to go with texture iterations. So then I just worked with Dan and Jacob, either in Discord for Dan and Skype for Jacob, just setting up a list of stuff we needed, and going over what was needed, what needed cleaning up. That was pretty easy. When I threw that the assignment sheet, we assigned the particles out. Dan and I did that, and then HUD is all on board. So let's see. And this was kind of a list that happened over. A lot of it was done on one day, but there was some stuff that was added in later. And Justin had some issues with his assets because he needs to be using Maya and meeting the standards of the game. And his topology was coming out weird and it wasn't UV'd right. And I would show you the UVs, but Maya's weird about windows. But you can see it's stretching weird. It's got weird bends in the normals. So I went ahead and just cleaned it up. I took his high poly and I worked on reducing it down to a low poly just by, deleting edges, deleted vertices. And made sure and I did UV it, so it's UV'd properly now. And there was that weird static light issue again that I had to fix that the other team apparently had as well, looking at their game. And you just have to click use with static lighting, save it, then unclick it and then click it again. And then I set up lighting for level 3 and just set up the so this is the lamp post that I made out of some assets and the light. And then I plopped it in everywhere, level, and I put a nice volume in there. Made some work. It's doing a flashy thing, and we're not exactly sure why that is. You can see where all the lamps were placed. Right in there. Oh, and the candles have little particles on them too, little flame particles I put on them. I put a lot of foliage into, I placed some props in, and I put in a lot of the scrub and foliage, the smaller stuff. And the pond area, I decorated a lot of that. And that little house on the left, and that kind of stuff. I can show you here where it's better selected, since Unreal is plain, the windows don't like that. And I had to change the color of some meshes to make sure that they looked right with the lighting, just for the grass and stuff. But you can see like kind of what I placed in on my level for the screenshots. And then you've got texturing, so I did the ball. It's just a kickball. I got a jump rope. Lots of layers, lots of dirt, football. Gonna play football in the fly, which I also textured. It's got in there, and you can see the UVs now. Candy piece, which was just really basic. I made some variations, picking out textures, and we got the house here. It's the old broken down cottage. The roof was took a lot of time, but I had a little bit of fun with this and added the cobwebs and the shading in the door, and I like it actually. The beanbag is kind of simple. I had a hard time with that. And bicycle, or tricycle rather. And I tried to make sure that the leather areas had a little bit of height to them, so they stuck out a bit. And I did a tree. I did the tree, and then I added the leaves to the tree in Photoshop. And that was really easy. You can see the tree here. And this tree is just it's just textured with some grunge, moss, and it's got this roller skate that's really blocky, and I will probably kick it back for RTM because it doesn't look like it fits on a child's foot. And then you got a little bit of fun here. Used your likeness, not a photograph of your face like they wanted, but I did a wagon. And a racket. And we got a pickaxe. And flowers. This is kind of a mystical flower, so I wanted it to look kind of out there and wild. And then I had to work with Dylan a lot on some blueprints because some of it is no longer in the game, but it was at one point where we had like a nozzle fading out on the upgrade for the flamethrower. It just didn't work out super well because of the way that Unreal was handling the opacity. But you can see I helped him out figuring out how to set this stuff up, and I did that. You can see the transparency materials made. That's pretty much it. Yep.